Finally, we reached the Gunn Museum. A bit of background. Garvault is on clan Gunn territory, and the history of the clan is collected in an old church on the Latheron coast. Just on our visit, which was outside of the museum's opening month, the roof was leaking and we nearly let the opportunity slip away.
Wow. So, I'm not sure about this wood. We're going to have to try and get it dried up a bit. Moving on up there, that's a project we did with the schools. They were doing a Viking project. Quite event-everything. There's a lot of axes and blood, as you could imagine.
Of course, that's all the fun bits.
This brooch got such a special attention for the simple reason that the day before Zach got the exact same one and we both were scoring the internet to find its meaning. So the meaning just fooled us.
Here, this was what's his name? He's a saintler. He was a prince.
Okay.
He was born in Roslin Chapel down in Falkirk, and he was buried there. He subsidised the trip to go to America.
Oh, wow.
But when they went on these trips, it wasn't just one ship. There could have been 6 ships that went at that time. So it was a massive undertaking.
Wow.
So there is evidence that they were there about 100 years before Columbus was.
Holy smokes. That's amazing.
But I think there were lots of countries that were discovered long before the famous people got recognition, you know.
I've heard there's lots of back and forth on who did what and what happened when. And
They were all bad.
oh, yeah.
In fact, the Mackays got quite a bad drubbing from the guns. Hundreds were killed in a lot of battles.
And then, well, just close to where we're at, then there's the monument on Ben Graham Moor where the Mackays and Gunns were allied and beat Sutherland. So it's just, it's all back and forth for hundreds of years. The Gunns and Mackays were against each other for like 200 or something like that.
Yeah, but eventually we went with the Gunns then. And the Mackays were the strongest on the west side, obviously. And the Gunns were strong. Not so much this coast, more or less down the centre. You can see that little map on the left there. You can see where the clans were the strongest. This is where the Gunns were strong. There, right down there, that bit there. See where it's more. Then the Mackays right over there. They were probably the 2 strongest clans, the Mackay. And so when they went together, that was the end of the clan system. Before the Battle of Culloden. As early as that.
Before it?
Battle of Culloden was 1746, I think. People would change sides at the drop of a hat. You know, they weren't loyal.
No.
It's a bit like the Battle of Culloden. It was a mishmash. It was Irish, English, Scots.
Oh, right.
Fought in the Battle of Culloden. It wasn't Scotland against England, which a lot of people think.
Right.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't that at all.
There's Ben Graham right there. You know where that battle happened. Remember right where that bridge is in Kimbrace? Right about there.
That was a terrible bit where the clearances took place.
Of course. Yeah. Just a bit north of there. There's how terrible it is. You know, it'd be something. If they were ever to make a film on the clearances, that's where they would focus, because that's where I've heard many different stories, but where that roof was burned and the mother was inside, and just terrible.
It was bad what they did, but what they found after they took the sheep in, they were no better off than getting rent from the tenants. Of course, the tenants were gone. Then they put them down to Bad Bay. Have you been there? Viridel.
Yeah.
There's a memorial there for the folk that they put down. Could have been a bit insular and just connected with Caithness. But no, you go to the left, what happened in the rest of Scotland. If you go to the right, what happened in the rest of... It's great for relating dates. English Civil War was 1642, so it's great for connecting dates. You know, Caithness, but then the rest of Scotland. So whoever did that was quite clever, I would say. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, quite clever. I think it's about 150 different clans that were in Scotland, and that's where they were all based. And they all had their own coats of arms.
The tricky bit is that the museum is closed in the winter, and Zach, who is only in Scotland at that time, has been trying to get there for 4 years. He finally made it, and gosh, he went nuts.
So have you been up to Forsenard in the Flow country there?
Yes, we just went a few days ago. Went and toured the tower over at the Forsenard Close, and
That's a fantastic bit of Flow country. It's the largest peat bog, I think, in the world. Used to say Europe, but I think it's the largest in the world of that type.
we just met some people who measure the depths of bogs, and they said the same thing. Largest in the world.
See, the Flow country is absorbing a tremendous amount of carbon.
Yes.
That's what it's for.
Oh yeah.
And there's a tremendous amount of butterflies and insects and little plants, carnivorous plants.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're tiny.
They're little. There's these little plants, but they're carnivorous. They eat bugs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to know where you're looking.
Yes.
See
Do
what's-
you know that? I do. I know one when I see them, and they'll be coming up sometime soon. I saw one
But they are tiny.
the other day. Yeah, it's probably one of the first. What did they say? It's probably
Even the
predates.
tartan. They found traces of tartan in Turkey.
Oh wow.
Maybe
Yeah.
they didn't call it tartan, but it's that
Yeah.
material, you see.
sure.
So we've shared things throughout the world.
Yeah.
We cannot say this belong.
Oh no.
Yeah, you were looking at this table. That's done with a hot poker. Poker work, they call it.
Oh.
It's done into the wood, and then you can put colour in it as well.
Oh wow.
That was a sort of craze many, many years ago. You see it on there.
So
as
like-
well.
oh,
It's
wow.
just done with a hot poker,
Wow.
and then cleaned, and then put paint.
That's fantastic.
That'll be old as anything.
That's a really great way to do it. I've seen that before with different types of
Yeah.
woodworking.
Yeah.
But I never knew that this style was.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
When firearms came into Scotland in 1780s, I think it was, they thought, as the clan Gunn were a very violent clan, either peace or war, they thought, this is going to look bad now. A violent clan called GUN.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, another N went on the end of it. And that was the reason for that.
Wow.
But that's where the term handgun actually comes from. The Norwegian Vikings were more in the north, and the Danish Vikings were south. They went more England over to Ireland, and the Vikings from Norway came up north. But but after that, the Vikings were everywhere. They definitely were the best seamen in the world at that time. Then, of course, the Portuguese came into it, and so did the Danes. Were pretty good, I think, as well.
It might be the largest blanket bog, but in my mind, it's the largest water filter as well. Sphagnum moss. And
Yeah, oh, it's
It's amazing.
Yeah, anymore. No. They'll grow the same crop in the same field year after year after year.
Yep.
No, you don't do that. You grow corn one year, you might have turnips another year, and the ground is getting recycled all the time.
And then you let fallow, so this is
Yeah.
presumably spread with manure and left.
Yeah, that'll be ready then for the next year.
Right. You'd throw all your rocks to one side. That's where I was saying sometimes a cairn is just a pile of rocks.
It's amazing how much stones and rocks are up here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the stone then they've got there about the Whispered Night. That's it there. That's where they found the actual evidence that the Vikings had been to America.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
After the museum, we headed to Tursu to pick up my new glasses, and on the way, we stopped to another interesting place, Achavanich. It's 4,000 years old stone circle in a horseshoe shape with the stone blocks perpendicular to the center. Usually, their white side faces the center. So, this style of arrangement makes it unique to all other stone circles, very unusual and mysterious.
1,000 years ago, Achavanich is unique to Scotland because it's the only stone circle like it, where the stones are not facing the inner circle but perpendicular to it. And behind us is a chambered cairn that's about 1,000 years older than this stone circle.
Yeah, except that only Zach went there. Despite his best efforts, my old crumbling shoes leaked at the very sight of water and rain. So I was already pretty wet and we had barely made it through half the day. So I opted to walk around the not so tall grass of the stone circle and watch Zach from afar.